Well, welcome to tonight's State of the City address. Um, for those that are usually getting the State of the City address like our council members and wondering where is all that data he normally gives, different format this year. What you have before you and for the media is strictly the data. You will find all the year-end reports uh, included in there from all the various departments. But what I'm going to say is not included in there. I'm going to do things a little differently this year and talk more about, what we've had to endure and how we have overcome those challenges and things of that nature. So it's a little different format this year, but it will be equally a tearjerker as you're used to seeing. So, but before we get started, I would like to introduce a couple of people. There are two different women. One of them keeps me organized by day, which is Brenda Douglas, my administrative assistant. And my wife, Tyra, who on weekends and evenings, she keeps me organized. So I appreciate them being here and everything they have done for me over the years, and look forward to many more years of that. So with that, over the past few years, we have experienced a lot of changes in the way we have to operate local government. Many of you remember hearing words such as circuit breaker. Well, we had to endure with circuit breakers. There was the tax caps that was set at 1, 2, and 3%, depending on what category you were in. With those tax caps, also came an additional homestead credit, a supplemental homestead credit of an additional $10,000, which meant that there was less tax dollars collected to operate local government. Along with that, after dealing with that, we also found in the past year, 2011, a huge discrepancy in tax caps collected. In addition to our tax caps, we lost $935,000 in uncollected property taxes. That is people just not paying their taxes. Add another $100,000 in income tax reductions, and we lost $1 million that we normally use to provide you, the citizens of Peru, with the services you need and deserve. To give you an idea, that reduction equates to about 20% of our property tax budget. So with those kind of losses, it puts an extra strain on how you accomplish what you need to. Now, I will say that we knew that we were going to experience some of this in 2011. Clerk Treasurer Jackie Gray and I sat down before putting the 2011 budget together, and we had made adjustments of about $850,000. And that's cuts to the budget. Those department heads who you see sitting here this evening know what we're talking about when we say the reductions that we had to make. They were painful, but they accepted what we had to do and worked with us, and we really appreciate that. So yes, our income has been drastically reduced, but the demand for our services. Our citizens still want their trash picked up regularly. We still want safe streets, well-lighted streets to travel on. If you have a situation with a fire, you want our fire department to respond and resolve the situation quickly. Our fire department, to give you an example, had 179 structure fires in 2011 and 636 runs for EMS and rescue services. That's quite a number for 1 year. We also want our police department to respond when there is an issue that we feel threatened, and we want them to come and protect us. Our police department in 2011, 1,737 calls for help. If you want to do the math, that equates to 46 calls a day, 365 days a year. And that does not include the 66 drug cases they investigated. Very busy year for our department. When they have time off, our citizens, they want to go to our parks and enjoy what we have to offer. Our parks suffered a setback this year as well. Under park superintendent, we had to go into him in his first full year and say, by the way, Mr. Bench, your budget has been cut further than what we thought it had to be. Now, Kenny didn't lose his hair over that. He was that way before he came into our organization, but he has done a great job with the parks with very, very little money. When we have an animal situation in our community, people call and want that animal situation resolved quickly as well, whether it be a stray dog or a vicious dog. Our central dispatch called for our animal control officer 1,062 times in 2011. Quite a number for a one-man operation. All these services we provide, as well we should, and it is tough to do at times, but we can with the resources that we have. I have challenged each department head, I should say, to find new ways to generate revenue, support their budget, to reduce the need for property taxes. Over the years, their creativity has done just that. Most recently, our Peru Fire Department and Chief Betzner came to me with an idea about starting an ambulance service to back up Duke's Hospital. At first, I wasn't sure how that was going to work, but he did a great job of explaining it. We implemented it, and it is creating new revenue for the fire department, again, reducing the need for property taxes. Our animal control officer, Greg Douglas, has implemented plans for adopting out stray dogs that they pick up. Again, generating new revenue, support their budget. It also gives these dogs a second chance to be placed in a caring home. Animal control is now at a new location. We have moved that operation to the former Miller Pool building. The reason was twofold. One, it gives us more room to implement the plans that we want in the new direction we are going with animal control. And secondly, it reduces our cost. The previous facility was 5 miles outside the city limits of Peru, making multiple trips a day in a vehicle that is not the most fuel efficient was really getting cost prohibitive. By moving to our new location, we can reduce our fuel cost anywhere from a third to a half. Plus, you add that to the fees that he is charging for these adoption services and other fees that we have now in caring for these animals. We hope to not the amount that he gets, but to reduce property tax dollars, and they are doing an excellent job with that. I may add that this Saturday from 10 to 2, there's an open house at Miller Pool, and you can come up and see what the new facility will look like. The new building also allows us to get rid of a lease that we had on the old facility, and that's going to save us $5,100 a year there. So that all the things we're doing to the building to get it ready should pay itself or pay us back in about 5 to 6 years. We should pay back anything that was put into that facility. Now, I know that there are those who wanted to see Miller Pool stay or return. Unfortunately, that is not possible from a financial perspective. But we are meeting to see how we can build a new water park for the youth of our community. It is in the very early stages, but Superintendent Benj and some members from the Parks Board are working together to see how we can design it, what the price tag will be, and then comes a big question: how do you fund it? We will have to look at grants and other items such as that to make that happen. But we are looking at creating new summer recreation for our youth. Yes, we have made many changes to your local government to compensate for the reduced revenue streams. Less employees than we once did. We have changed employee benefits, and we keep equipment longer than we normally do. Heck, we even clean our own city hall. Our clerk treasurer and some of her staff came down to sweep this room before we had the meeting this evening, so we do our own cleaning here. And through all these changes, our department heads and employees worked with us, accepted what we had to do, and understood why we had to do what we did. I want to publicly thank all of them for their service to this community and for a job well done. You are all appreciated. One area I will not cut further is public safety. As I said earlier, we have reduced employees. Currently, we are down 1 fireman and 2 policemen. We'll not cut that any further. And there are reasons for that, especially when you look at the police department and our drug task force. Recently, you read in the paper and heard on the radio, last week, they arrested 4 people in conjunction with 2 operating meth labs. Those are things that we will continue to fight, unfortunately, because when you hit one, somebody else thinks they can start up another one. We must continue to fund that department so that we can stop these individuals who think that they can manufacture meth and sell that poison to our young people. I will not stop funding that department, and we will do everything we can with the Drug Task Force to ensure safety for not only our young people, for the not so young as well. Although we have seen many state-imposed changes to local government and challenged by a weak national economy, and progressive with our focus on building a better Peru, and we will continue to do so. When I came to this office 8 years ago, I said we would make improvements that would make our community more attractive to business development. This has been with the help of the Miami County Economic Development Authority. And we think that we have succeeded in many areas. We are starting to see new growth. I'm going to mention some of these, and this is not all inclusive. Dean Baldwin Painting has announced they will be coming to the Grissom Air Reserve Base. When they get in full operation, and there's a lot of work to do to get Hangar 200 ready to go, but they will be bringing approximately 200 jobs to our community. Conforce International is in the old Trelleborg building, and they're still perfecting their processes, a new technique they are working on. But once they perfect that process, we hope to see that the new jobs are going to be created and see a lot of people employed out there as well. On the more retail side, Day and Night Cafe, and I'm going to read some of these because I don't remember all of them, but Day and Night Cafe, Dr. Ladd Clinic, Roxy 5 Movie Theater, Fastenal, American Trust Plaza Development, Beacon Credit Union, Image Eye Care, Walgreens, the new Veterans Clinic, the Dialysis Center at 2nd and Miami Street, Alco, Duke's Hospital 3rd floor renovation, Dillman's Furniture, and very shortly you will hear about another new venture coming to our business community. These people believe in Peru and what it can be, and I appreciate their investment. As we continue to improve our community, we will continue interest. And when we do attract new interest, we must ensure that we have the educated workforce to perform the jobs that will come with those new industry. Education is the single most important item when building a community that is ready to enable to perform the jobs of the future. That is why a cooperative effort between Peru schools, city government, and county government joined forces to bring Ivy Tech to Peru. This is one of the greatest things we have achieved in our effort to turn our city around. The city has also made strides in improving our infrastructure, West Main Street, North Broadway, and soon South Broadway, to name just a few. These projects help to create new development in the areas where they are located. With the completion of South Broadway project, we will have completed an infrastructure improvement in the entire downtown area. It also will provide an attractive and comfortable appeal for those who wish to shop there, and will make the area more attractive to those who are considering locating a new business in our community. Another big plus is the North Broadway development. We have seen the first investment in that area with the new Roxy 5 movie theater. I would like to again thank those local investors for their willingness and faith in choosing Peru to build this much needed business. An economic development strategy has been completed for this entire area. Jim Tidd and Christy Householder of the Miami County Economic Development Authority headed a team of elected officials and citizens to help plan this strategy. Let me show you what else we are planning for this area. Jim, feel free. This map that we shaded in the areas that we're talking about. It is a pleasure working with each and every one of you. But we are not done. There are still many improvements we need to make and jobs to create before we rest. We will face more challenges, but we must face them with the attitude that we will overcome them. We must be vigilant in our approach and positive in our spirit. And when we do, we will succeed in our efforts. The attitude that this can't happen in Peru must be changed to this will happen in Peru. In closing, I would like to ask that every elected official and citizen in the city of Peru to dedicate themselves over the next 4 years to be a servant to our community. For if we all do our part in improving Peru and being a positive voice, we will not fail. We will only grow stronger. We all have a part to play. And as the song says, it's up to us to be the change. And even though this world needs so much more, there's so much more to be thankful for. Thank you, good night, and God bless you all.